I'm Mary Sue Milliken.
And I'm Susan Feniger, and we're here in downtown Los Angeles, very excited to walk you through modern Mexican cuisine. We want to just talk to you about some of the major ingredients that are really critical in the Mexican kitchen. There's no question, you can't cook Mexican food without using limes. That's something that we were so blown away by 25 years ago. Limes now, of course, everybody uses, but back then it was not an ingredient we were that familiar. We used lemons, that was it.
And honestly, fresh citrus is what you want for great Mexican food, whether it's lemons, limes, oranges, grapefruits, fresh. Not bottled, but fresh, because there's nothing like it. And the same is true with fresh chilies, fresh green chilies, but also fresh dried chilies.
Let's just talk about, for example, the jalapeno pepper. Many of you are familiar with that, right? And you know that there's certain times of the year where this may be spicy and other times of the year where it will be not spicy at all. So you have to taste, make sure you taste.
And usually the skinnier cousin, the serrano, is spicier. And then there's a couple that are kind of like, almost like a bell pepper, a pasilla or a poblano. The poblano has the big shoulders, like a swimmer. And those are basically your fresh chilies. Of course, we have these sweet bell peppers. You can get orange, red, green bell peppers. Those are always handy in the kitchen.
Don't forget this. I want you to know this. This is the habanero.
That's not a bell pepper.
Yeah, that is not, and that's not a Tinkerbell. That is a habanero, and it's hot. So if you can get it, use it, but use it delicately.
It's the highest on the Scoville rating. Also, when you're buying fresh chilies, you're looking for really super smooth skin, no wrinkles. You want it to be firm and hard and crispy. You want to make sure there's no little pockets of softness in there. When you're buying dry chilies, the thing to look for is pliability. Now that's a little bit
that's
brittle.
A little stale.
So you want to look for more like this, where it's really got pliability.
So don't be intimidated. We just gave you a few of the sort of more important chilies that we use, but there's many more.
It's gonna change your cooking at home. You're gonna love cooking with chilies.
When someone comes over for a party, they walk in the door, the first thing you want to do is have an interesting drink. And it doesn't necessarily have to be alcohol, but of course, we're making a margarita today.
Because they always like your food a little bit better when it is. So a couple of slices of jalapeno and a couple slices of cucumber in there.
And what you want to think about, we're using jalapeno because it's often not as spicy, but of course check it again. So we're putting it in.
Oops, I already put some of those in
well
there.
now it's going to be really
Here,
spicy.
I better put some more of these too.
So we're taking cucumbers and jalapeno pepper and we're going to muddle that. And muddling it releases all the oil so that when we actually add our tequila, you get that hotness in there.
Ready? We're gonna put a little tequila
in. A little.
Oh, a lot.
Uh-oh, she emptied the bottle.
There wasn't very much. And a tiny bit of agave syrup. And then, of course, the most important part, the fresh limes. I like to roll them around on the counter to break up all those little juice pockets.
So I rim a little bit of lime on there, and then of course I like salt on this because we're gonna get spicy.
Oh my God, that is delicious.
Let me see. And we love to leave the chilies in there too because you get freshness and sweetness from the cucumber, but heat from the chili.
And maybe a little garnish on there so when you taste it.
I'm glad you just made one.
You are? Here, I'm having some of that though.
That is the perfect drink. I mean, summer or winter, I would drink that drink.
Or fall. So we're gonna show you a dish from Border Grill that's been on the menu now for many, many years.
Since we opened. This is our sauteed shrimp with slivered garlic, ancho chilies, and lime. And the ancho chilies are what make it really unique.
As you can see, you get the pan super hot, and I'm gonna toss this shrimp with a little bit of salt and freshly ground black pepper.
So you can see this is all getting seasoned before.
And also, you know, you wanna just cook it briefly. So, whoops. Oh, that shrimp thought it was gonna get away, but no.
And then what we're gonna do is we took slivered garlic that we just sliced paper thin and then cooked it very slowly in olive oil. Now the chili that we're gonna be using today is the ancho chili. That's the poblano pepper that's been dried.
The one with the big shoulders and it's nice and pliable. Now these are about halfway, 3/4 of the way cooked. I'm gonna let them sit on the plate for a minute because they're gonna go back in the pan after the garlic.
And with the same pan, because we want the juice from the shrimp in there, we add the garlic and those ancho chilies. Now wait till you see what happens here. See how you get that amazing orange oil from the chili? That gives you all this great chili flavor. That's gonna go into our sauce, which is really incredible.
A little bit of fish stock, or you know, at home I don't make fish stock, I have to admit. It's a dirty little secret, but I buy clam juice.
What we're going to do is make what's called a pan sauce. So we're gonna take this juice, let it cook a little bit. You can see all the flavor from the chilies and the garlic in there.
This needs to cook another 3 or 4 minutes. So I'm gonna put the shrimp back in, kind of stir it all around, add a little bit of fresh butter.
Now when we add cold butter into a sauce, a pan sauce like that, it actually thickens the sauce a little bit, which is what gives it body and texture. Now if you didn't want to eat butter, you don't have to.
You want to squeeze at the very end a little bit of that fresh lime juice to really make everything pop.
And in the meantime, I'm just going to take a little bit of greens, whatever assorted greens you have, into a hot pan again. Just saute that, and that's going to be the bed that we're going to put the shrimp onto. That and a little bit of rice, a little bit of typical Mexican red rice. See how quick those greens cook?
And these greens are really healthy, great source of calcium.
Let me see that sauce.
It is delicious.
So you've got the richness from the shrimp, and then a little bit of the butter and the ancho chilies gives it earthiness. We finish it with the tang of the lime, and you've got the perfect balance. Again, balance.
And then you're gonna put plenty of those beautiful shrimp with the ancho chilies, garlic, and lime.
And they're not spicy. Like, look, I can taste it. It's fantastic.
And
all that
plenty
juice.
of that yummy sauce.
And this is one of our biggest selling dishes on the Border Grill menu, whether you're in Vegas or Santa Monica or downtown.
Look at that. Now you can make this at home and wow your guests and collaborate with your family and friends, and you'll have a winner.
Let me see.
I better try one too.
Oh, that is good.
I love those chilies.
I'm Susan Feniger.
And I'm Mary Sue Milliken.
Now be sure to subscribe to Tasted.